The Immortal Mask, a 1970s superhero crime noir adventure, follows a retired soldier turned reporter who is given a coveted interview with a death row inmate. What he learns thrusts him into Atlanta's shadowy underworld. He'll have to use his military training to survive being hunted for possessing the information that could topple the city's most powerful ruling class. This is not a pre-order or a crowdfunding campaign. Get your books now at denali's.com.
Once upon a modern time, in a little cul-de-sac, black characters from myth and rhyme decided to come back. They moved into a cuter house, they bought a boat and car, they got a job, they got a spouse, they're ready to go far. This modern life, with all its strife, is wilder than before. You won't forget the day you met the fables next door. You won't forget the day you met the fables next door.
In a land of endless twilight, where time stands so still, Jude roams the barren prairies, seeking fate by his own will. Bodies walk, but minds are twisted, eyes are empty, no surprise. Jude's heart feels the heavy burden of a world where no one dies. Jude rides on through ghostly whispers, dust and shadows side by side. Will he triumph? Will he falter on the path of the pale rider? Every town's a haunted wasteland, faces there but not alive. Jude seeks answers in the silence of forsaken souls who strive. Hope is but a distant memory in this drought of dreams and light. Jude's resolve is forged in sorrow in this never-ending night. Jude rides on through ghostly whispers, dust and shadows side by side. Will he triumph? Will he falter on the path of the pale rider? This drought of dreams and light. Jude's resolve is forged in sorrow in this never-ending night. Jude rides on through ghostly whispers, dust and shadows side by side. Will he triumph? Will he falter on the path of the pale rider?
And I am RJ Carter, fading into black here with the Critical Blast podcast. Tonight, we are happy to have Laurie Calcaterra. Laurie, are you okay?
I'm crying in the background. I had no idea you had music for me. Oh my God. That was totally unexpected, everybody. I'm sitting in the background. RJ starts playing. I'm like, oh my God. I just started crying. Thank you so much. That is so cool.
Very
Like,
welcome.
I need this. I need this in my life.
Pop says he does that. I've been trying to do that. I try to do that. Try to get one special for every special guest that comes on.
It was beautiful. Beautiful.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's I'll make sure you get the copy that you asked for there.
Thank you.
Now
I have to talk after that.
Well, you're the only one who knows everything, so
that's true. That's true. I compose myself here. It's good.
Okay, so yeah, Jude, the main character.
Oh, it's so good.
In this, I remember we talked long and deep on this, and I'm going to try not to do so again because when you gave me the concept, I'm like, 30 million different rabbit holes opened up.
Yeah.
But you're up to issue 5, which is like 4 more than most. Is actually 5 more than most people get who decide to go into making a comic. 4 more than most who actually get the first one done. So
yeah,
you're keeping
we're
it rolling.
Still here.
Yes, and how is there a light at the end of the tunnel, or do you just keep buying more tunnel?
Well, the tunnel goes to 36.
That's a very long tunnel.
It's a long tunnel. But here's the thing. When I wrote this, it was a full-length movie, so it's a movie script, and so there's 4 issues for every kind of part of the movie. So if you're into movie writing, there's an act 1 and an act 2 and an act 3, right? Yep. So 12 issues equals 1 arc.
You're writing a Netflix series.
Yeah. Well, who knows? We could do that. It would be easy to turn it into one. In fact, when I wrote the script and I was kind of letting people read it, that's the feedback I got was shop it to Netflix, shop it to Amazon. And I didn't want to because they write you a check and then you're out of the picture completely. So I wasn't ready to let go of creative control, and I still wanted to tell my story. I wanted people to know what I intended before Hollywood kind of gets their meat hooks into things. They tend to do that. They tend to rewrite and ghostwrite and change, right?
Give them the original so that people can watch it and say, yeah, but you really got to read the book.
Right, exactly. But that's not who that character is. You know what I mean? Or you need to know the intent behind it. So that's why I was like, I'm gonna do it myself. Damn it. I'm gonna do it myself.
You also want to finish it before it goes to Netflix so that you don't end up with a Game of Thrones kind of thing.
Yeah, where it's like
over, but it's not really.
That's not what we know that's not what was supposed to happen in that last season. We know that. You know what I mean? But give us and now who knows if we'll ever get those books. So
all he's got to do is just take the scripts and say, you know what? Yeah, those are the books. We'll go with that.
Exactly. So
lazy. Oh, you know what? I just sent that to both you and Pops in Facebook. And I forgot you can't download from DM. So that sucks.
WeTransfer works for everything. So
it's not that big of a file. It's only 3.6 meg, but yeah, it's one thing that
email.
Twitter doesn't let you download either file like that. And it's still Twitter. I don't care. He calls it X. I feel like it's Becky trying to make fetch happen. It's just it's not gonna quit trying to make fetch happen.
I was like, I even called it a tweet the other day. I was like, I tweeted something. I was like, is it called a tweet if it's on X? I don't even know.
What is it called? Did we exit?
I don't know. Like, did you just
Or
post
is that only
it?
when you log off that you exit?
Yeah, I don't know.
Weird.
Uh,
So where are we at in Jude's journey here?
all right.
We're 5 issues into a world that, like we just said, doesn't die.
Yeah. So, just
But
to clarify for people, your body dies and you decay, but your soul, your energy, what makes you you, your essence, it doesn't leave when your body dies. So, you get to hang out during your own decay phase, and it's people, animals, insects, fish. And the last episode I was on with RJ, we talked about the consequences of what happens in a world like that. So, the first 4 issues is basically the introduction, the first act of a movie, right? So you learn the world, you learn the main character, you learn how they think, the rules of the world, right? Well, now we're done with that and we're moving into the next section. So the next section of the movie, Act 2, is where your protagonist gets their mission, right? And then everything goes wrong. That's where we're headed. And if you
so
think things have gone wrong in the first 4 issues, you haven't seen anything yet.
so explain to the person who's not walked into this world yet. Who is Jude and why does he even have a shot at fixing things?
So Jude
What makes him special?
what makes him special is a couple things. One, his empathy. He's empathetic to everybody. Living and undead, he sees the humanity in all. And he wants to put it back to the way it was, and he's determined to do so at whatever the cost. And we see that in issue 1. He makes a decision, and no matter how small the decision is, there are major consequences. And he is responsible for these and he owns it, but he is still determined to go on. There's nothing that he would not risk to put everything back to the way it was. I mean, if we're talking about a major crisis, and I mean, like, we lived through 2020, right? We're 4 years past that.
Yes.
People have moved on. People are trying to get by, right? 10 years into this apocalypse is where this story starts. People are just trying to get by. He
So
is
it's not even
still determined to figure it
it's
out.
not even post-apocalyptic, it's post-apocalyptic.
Yes. It's a volatile place. It's the Wild West come back. So everybody's like, "Oh, it's great to see a zombie in a period piece in an Old West kind of situation." I was like, "No, no, no, no. This is not Old West. This is future West, because things are so bad, we have devolved back to the Wild West." And that's just the snapshot of where we are right now. Jude's going to go to a bunch of different places, and things will change depending on where he is. The further west he goes, the worse it gets, the more wild it gets. And that's kind of his direction, is he's trying to figure it out. Everybody keeps telling him, "Go west, dude. That's where your answers are."
So that would be like where the epicenter of whatever caused this thing to happen.
Yeah, is out
and the
west.
people, yeah, they're not zombies. They're not,
They're not.
brain eating, undead, mindless. It's like
Flesh-eating.
you're still
Yeah.
alive. Your heart's not beating.
Your
Your
heart's not
flesh is
beating.
decaying.
You are decaying. Your brain is rotting in your skull. So let's say I die of a heart attack in this world. My brain is basically intact, and I might be able to interact with you as myself for a while. But as my brain decays, you get forgetful, maybe violent. You could get detached, vegetative. Just it starts to kick it. It hits everybody differently. It's almost like having dementia, but in fast forward. But your
Yeah.
body is also rotting. So you can be missing limbs. You could have missing organs. But you're still you. You can still communicate as long as your functions are there as you. You're not craving brains. I mean,
So
we have cannibalism in the real world, so technically you could have cannibalistic undead, but it's not common. It's just because whatever can happen in the real world can still happen in this world.
right. And folks, if you're interested already in this book by now, and why wouldn't you be? The link is right below in the description of this. I'm also going to throw it into the
It looks like
chat. Now we
Pops just put it in.
okay. Well, never mind.
Well,
I don't
I
have
have
to
a
do
short
nothing.
link. I have a short link, which is just pale-writer.com. And yeah, we're super close to being funded. Now our goal is, this is always the debate in the indie community, because where do you put your goal? Do you put it where it's easy to meet, but that's not enough to make the book? Or do you make it realistic? Or do you where do you put your goal? And our goal is 4,550. And the reason it's still that number is because that's the one that I chose when I first did issue number 1. So if I wanted to put it at 2,000, we would have been funded in 15 minutes because it went that fast this time. But, we have a realistic goal that this will pay for everything. It pays for the art production, it pays for the print job and the ship and everything. So,
and you've done 4 of them now, so you know what it costs.
This is my 6th Kickstarter, because we did the 4 issues and we did a trade paperback. And so this is the 6th one. So we're still here. I think we have it figured out pretty well. But what it, the 4550, all it does is it lets me gauge how we're doing compared to like previous campaigns. That's it. I mean, at some point I might change it just to say that we got funded in an hour. But I mean, honestly, it's fine the way it is too. We usually get funded within the first week with this number. This one will be, I don't know, real quick, because we launched on Friday. So like Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So 3 days.
Not bad.
Yeah.
If you want to get those trade paperbacks in like Walmart, let me know.
Oh, cool. Yes,
that's what we do. That's what we get them
this
into
one
Walmart
is published by ASAP Imagination, just so everybody knows. This is the publisher in the UK. So my books are actually available in the UK in some stores. That's how it goes.
Yes.
It's like
it's a real place, people. It's not,
Yeah.
So did you this is the question I did not ask you the last time.
Yeah.
Did you do any research onto the biodegradability of the human body?
Yes. And that was I did a lot of research into dementia. I did a lot of research about brains and how different parts of the brains affect different emotions, different cognitive skills, body function. I did a lot of research about how quickly things decay. And what's interesting is that, we go into rigor mortis and then it comes off, but people are ingenious. So when we have an issue that we want to tackle, we figured out how to fix it. So we are researching cancer. Let's say ED. ED is a problem that we have fixed, right? You take a pill.
Have?
Still have fun.
Right.
Still have fun, right? But it's a condition that we spent time to fix. So don't you think we as a population would figure out between I would say embalming techniques, formaldehyde, and heavy makeup, to make people look human longer and to not decompose as quickly?
Now, see, I could see the dead working on that.
Yes. But the dead also have sympathizers.
Okay, well then.
Because again, if they're not trying to eat you, it's your spouse, your child. You'd want them to stay around as long as possible. Because, I mean, like in the beginning, and you guys, issue number 3 kind of breaks down the beginning and how chaotic it is. And nobody knows what to do. Nobody knows how to handle it. But as it continues going, people have seen the chaos. They've seen grandma walking outside in her robe, you know what I mean? Like you've seen traffic accidents and undead running over people because they're still driving and they shouldn't be. You've seen the chaos. And so I think the living would also have a vested interest in keeping their undead relatives looking more human longer, especially, and then in issue 4, it becomes illegal for undead to live in certain communities. So if my child is undead and I know they're going to come pick him up and take them who knows where, and my child is aware that it's going, how terrifying is that? Yes. Mama, I don't want to go. I'm scared.
Rewrite Title IX.
It's it's terrifying when you think about it. So if I have an undead child, I'm probably trying to keep them sane and looking human for as long as possible, so that way they don't have to get picked up and disappeared.
And I bet it's a very profit-driven sort of industry as well. I mean,
Oh,
think
yeah.
what the electric companies are raking in because
Mhm.
you have to keep the AC down to like
Gotta keep
42.
them cold or they stink. They rot
Yeah,
faster. Yeah.
because I was
But
just
they don't wanna
wondering,
be
like,
too cold because then the synapses don't fire great. So it's a fine line.
yeah, yeah, and I was like, I started thinking like, well, where's the real problem in the dead not dying? Because eventually they're just going to be a little pile of goo on the sidewalk that's not
Right?
moving anywhere, and it's still conscious, but we don't know that. We can't
Right.
communicate with it. It's why do we care? It's like, yeah, you know what? You're going to die. You're going to hang around a bit after that, and then pretty soon you're just going to we're going to put you in a really dark box, and you will go insane.
They
For
go
lack of saying.
insane or they become something eats them and they become poop. They don't get to leave. That's the problem.
Yeah, and
So where do they go? What kind of
I guess
supernatural
somewhere
things
in
are
all of
we
that,
experiencing because they're around and they're angry because they don't have a body anymore?
they have to have the Wolverine master molecule where their
Mm.
consciousness resides, because otherwise, they might go
Mm.
through a wood chipper and just get sprayed all over the place. Like, not every single piece of them is thinking and still conscious. There's the one piece
But
somewhere.
where this
Um,
is the essence, and you've touched on it where most people don't. Where does the body end and the soul start? Where?
Nobody. I mean, you'd have to think it was in the mind because but there's so many places that you remove and you stop working. So how do you know that one of those places wasn't where you took the soul out?
Hmm. Interesting. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Interesting.
It's it
Where does the soul end and the
tangent.
body begins? That's it. That's the question. And that is key to Path of the Pale Rider. That's what I gotta say. You'll have to watch and find out.
And you reminded me of a wonderful novel series, by Neil Shusterman, called, Unwind, and
Oh.
and in Unwind, what they had a civil war, basically, between, the right to life and the right to choose,
Mhm.
and during this fight, technology came up with something. They basically ended any possibility of organ rejection.
Hmm.
They turned on the genes as like organs universally acceptable to everybody. At
Interesting.
which point a détente was reached. It was like, okay, here's the thing: you have to have the baby if you're pregnant, but
Oh, we
after
talked
they're
about
six,
this.
after
Yeah.
they're 16, up until they're 18, you can say, you know what, we're going
Piece
to
them out.
retroactively unwind them and
Yeah.
send them off for processing, because as long as like 98.5% of them was used for organ transplants, they're technically still alive.
Isn't that crazy? That's a crazy thought.
It's a wonderful novel because at like the third book, somebody finally said, "You know what? If I give you this guy's right arm and it's still got all the muscle memory, and now you can like do magic tricks with it because you've got
Mhm.
flexible fingers that
Interesting.
the other guy could do. What if we took all these parts and connect them to nobody but themselves, and they built a new human with
Frankenstein?
slices of yes, they
What
did a
would it
Prometheus.
do? How would it how would it act?
It it very much wanted to self-actualize, but it was like multiple people in its head trying to, get all the chaos together, for
Yeah.
a very fractured personality.
Yeah, I could see that.
It was
That
really
that
good.
would be an interesting read. I would read that for sure.
You should read all 3, I think it's 4 books.
It's called Unwind?
The first one is called Unwind. Then
Okay.
there's, like, Unsouled, um, Souled.
Mhm.
It's, it's a great series. I've got it in a box somewhere I haven't unpacked yet here. Um And I tried to get him to do a movie, say, "Why isn't this a movie?" He's like, "It's hard to pitch." I'm like, "Retroactive abortions are made legal." He's like, "Yeah, but you can't say that in Hollywood because it's like,
That's
oh, no,
true.
we're not touching it."
Right. Well, and I mean, unfortunately, that's the state of things because, Like my story even, people are like, "Oh, it's a zombie story." We don't want it. You know what I mean? It's been
Too
done.
many.
It's jumped the shark. But it's like, you didn't even hear it. Like, it's different, and it's not what you think. But when everybody does hear it, then they understand, "Oh, okay, this hasn't been done before." Right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, and look
So
how
I mean,
close we are to being funded. Oh my gosh.
there's this is where you just jump in and you say,
Just back it already.
It's like, it's so great to be this far, and then you're just like one more push. We'll get across that finish line. We're so close.
I've got to get into it and read it because I need to know. I asked this already. Is like, why is Jude doing this? But
Yeah.
what makes him think he can? This is cosmic level. Something's happened here. I mean, like
Yeah.
if a nuke went off in California and I wanted to help, I'd be like, I'm going to help come hell or high water. It's a nuke. What am I going to do? Just
Yeah.
walk that way and say, when I get there, I'll figure it out. Billions of people are dead, but just little old me, I'm going to change the world by
Well,
going
and
and
I
taking
gotta say
care of the
this
cosmic
about
climate.
Jude. From the beginning, he's been looking at conspiracy theories. So he thinks
Oh,
he has an idea of where to start. And if you blink, you miss it. But that's part of the fun of this is that he has this whole journal of conspiracy theories, and every issue starts with a page from that journal. And then I put extra journal entries in the bonus material of the trade paperback. So if you want to get sucked down in some really crazy conspiracy theories, we got them. You know what I mean? Because it really could be when you think about it, the apocalypse is like, is it government? Is it virus? Is it bacterial contaminant? Is it mushrooms? We've done that. We've seen that, right? Is it the rapture? Is it aliens? And I mean, like when people don't freaking die, it could be anything. It could be anything. So he has an idea, and in issue 2, he finds the person he's been looking for and puts himself at risk so he could get to talk to this person. And now in issue number 5, you get to talk to this person. So you get to find out what this person of interest knows. And that's what's going to start him down his new path. You know what I mean?
and there's
So,
still 29 issues to go.
well, not in the first arc. Um, you know what I mean? We're going towards 12. It's going to if we stop at 12 and we never make another issue, you will know what started the apocalypse. You will know how it got started. You won't know if Jude's able to put it back to the way it was because that's what we started in issue number, the next 13, 13, 14, and on to 24. So in the second arc, it gets crazier because a lot more things have been revealed. And then in that third final arc, when we go to 26 or 36, excuse me, that's when you see, the resolution. There is an ending. It's been written. We're working our way towards it. And that's what I think is the difference between a really good series and an okay series. Because once the ending has been written, every single issue that I create is moving us towards that ending. It isn't like, and I hate this, Lost, where it's like, how many episodes are we going to do where we don't open the freaking hatch? And then there's a zoo. What are we doing here? Like we're meandering through this world with no purpose. I hate fluff. I hate it. So every single issue that we have moves us towards issue 36. When we get there, you will have your satisfaction to know what he's able to do, if he's able to put it back or not, and why he's able to do it, RJ. Because you're right, there is something else going on here, but I can't tell you.
Okay, good. But at least there's a spark in him that's going to
There
be
is
different from
something
me.
about him, and you will find out. Someone was asking me, so this is what I love about this series is people think about it when they're not reading it. Pops Van
Yeah.
Zant does it all the time. He'll send me a message on like a random Tuesday and be like, "Hey, what happens if I swallow a seed? Am I gonna poop out a tree?" And I was like, "Hi." I'm like,
Um.
"No." But then we have a discussion about the mechanics of Path of the Pale Rider. It happened today. Someone was doing a review of the comic of issue 1, and they asked me these really poignant questions, and I just had to say, I have to wait and see. Like, I like
Now,
how you think.
along that lines, if somebody, the bear. We'll go with the bear. We're going to
Okay.
talk about the bear.
Yeah.
If the bear poops out the last person he ate, because that's what he's doing. Come on. And he does it in the woods because that's where bears go. We all know that. And he does it near a tree, and the tree is fertilized and absorbs all of that up into the tree. Are you reincarnated as a tree? And what if there are other people in the tree already?
That's interesting.
Did you know you were causing all these problems? All this
It's a deep rabbit hole to go down. And now I would love to answer that question, but we got to get a little further in the story to talk about those mechanics.
Which means you know the answer.
I do. But if I tell you, it might tell you more of what's going on than what I'm prepared to share right now. So,
because I'm thinking at some point, not dead people who can't communicate, who are parts of trees and stuff, have figured out, oh, this is what's going on, but we can't tell anybody.
I can't say.
Can't say.
There is something that happens after you are no longer in your flesh, but I'm not saying. We'll get there. I promise you. I wrote that issue already. We'll get there.
The bear.
The bear.
We've seen the bear a lot.
People anymore. In issue number 3, you see his origin story. He is shot through the head. That's what causes him to pass into the gray. And he happens to get shot through a part of his brain that regulates emotion. He is stuck in rage. So anytime you wake this bear up, he's not really trying to eat you. He's just trying to pull you to shreds. So they don't need to eat, but he's just angry all the time. And he's territorial of that road that you see him on in the first issue. So you got to read it. You got to see the chaos that this bear causes. And yes, we've seen Big James in issue 1 and issue 3. You will see him again.
Okay. So you mentioned he doesn't have to eat. None of them have to eat anymore.
No, they do not.
Dead. So there's not really a pull on those resources.
Yeah, they don't have to eat. Could they technically eat? Yeah. Let me just say this. So the problem with the food supply is that, one, if you eat meat, you can let's take cows for example. They're pretty big. Pigs are pretty big. It's a major food item, in the food chain. And you can slaughter the bull, but you can't butcher the bull. It is still moving, right? It's a lot more difficult. And even if you could, would some of it still be moving when you eat it? No, thank you.
Even if you've cooked it.
Yep.
But if there's like, how gross do I want to get here? If there are no chemical interactions, if there are no chemical interactions going on in your body, there's no blood flowing, there's no gastrointestinal juices going. There's muscle contraction, but basically you can just go buy a hamburger and eat the hamburger, and that's the last $5 on hamburger you have to spend in your life because you're just pureeing it at this point. It's not being absorbed as nutrition and having bile injected into it and coming out the other end as poop. It's coming out the other end as chewed up hamburger.
If you're
you just
undead,
reconstitute it and push it back together.
Yes. So like you as a human are smart enough to know that you don't need to eat. Insects, in my opinion, are not smart enough to know that they do not need to eat. They only do a few things: reproduce and eat and defecate, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Pesticides do not work.
Millions of them dying all the time.
Pesticides do not work.
Oh, they won't. So locusts are just going to keep destroying crops.
Yes. So we have a
but
problem
again,
with meat.
They're not really destroying the crop. They're just, if they eat it early, they're destroying the crop. They're just reconstituting the crop into another.
Yeah, you want to eat reconstituted crop? You don't.
No, but
So we have a major food shortage. Typically in a body of water, your fish, your animal life will sink to the bottom and not contaminate. Now you have animated fish that are decaying and getting into water supplies they're not supposed to. So we have a water problem, we have a food problem, we have chaotic humans, right? We have a government
bacteria.
what's that?
Bacteria.
Yes, bacteria. Well, it can still be killed, so it wouldn't be multiplying, but it would still be spreading. Yes.
Yeah, they'd be still getting more of them, but
And then we didn't even talk about mushrooms. That's a thing. Because now we have
okay,
a
you
bunch
you
of
mentioned mushrooms twice now. Throw the mushrooms in here. What's the
I
deal with
mean,
mushrooms?
how do you stop them, man? If they're just eating if they eat decayed things and a majority of the world is decayed things, now we have this giant population of mushrooms. I guess we could
Walking
eat the mushrooms.
mushroom people.
Well, you'd be seeing a lot of people with mushrooms.
Yeah, growing
You might
on
have a
them.
mushroom forest is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Mushrooms actually might be the answer of what we could eat.
mushrooms might be the answer, period, because I'm betting.
Hmm?
Where's my wallet? How much do I got in here? I have a Twin Peaks, punch card.
Ah.
I'll bet my
Oh,
Twin
that's
Peaks
not gonna
punch
get you
card.
very far with me, RJ.
I will bet my Twin Peaks punch card that something is still dying, and the key to everything is in what that thing is.
Hmm. Interesting. That's
But
another good theory from what I've that's a third good theory I've heard today. It's interesting. It's interesting.
we're
So yeah,
we're
man,
all
that's
trying to write this ahead of you.
yeah. It's been written. The first 12 have been written. I wrote the whole thing in 2018. It has not changed, just so people know. I wrote this prior to the pandemic. So when you read the issues that remind you of the pandemic, remember that I wrote them in 2018. And people get mad at me for writing them because they think I caused the pandemic. Sorry. My sister was like, stop writing, Laurie. I'm like, sorry. And it's just interesting because the things that I have written are based off of history and how humans have acted in the past and under crisis. And we are still in crisis and we are still acting that way. So things are still happening in the world now that were written into my story. What's up, William Russell? Nice to see you, man.
Hey,
So
see you pop
I'm
up there.
still so close to being funded, like this close. Because I was posting this morning, like,
43.72. That's
come on.
we're
What?
$128 away from gold.
Yeah.
If I did my math right. So
Go back.
show us what we need to instead of
Would you like to
theorizing over
see?
here. Show us what we got to do to hit $128. What's the fastest route there?
Well, man, I have a wooden cover. I got a wooden
Wooden
cover.
cover. That's a new one.
If you haven't seen a wooden cover, they're gorgeous. I got really cool stuff on here, and I'll go through some of it, but let's start at the bottom when we'll go back. Someone has already grabbed this Singularity, so this is gone. This is our new Funko Pop design. We always have 2 Funko Pops on the campaign. One is the brand new one, which we only release one. And then thank you. And then we have a new the new Funko Pop from last campaign. Where is it? Here it is. So there's 5 of these. Yes, William Russell, thank you so much for backing. I appreciate you. So this Funko Pop is of Callie St. Clair, which was released last campaign for issue number 4. Well, 2 campaigns ago. And she was our first undead Funko Pop. We have Jude St. Clair. We have Big James the Undead Bear. She's our first undead human, I should say. And then we have Dwayne Fink and then Callie St. Clair. So this one, they're priced that way because they're custom made. So they're pretty pricey. The only way to get these are on the Kickstarter campaigns. I do not purchase these for my website, and you cannot buy these from me at a con. The only place you can get these is the Kickstarters.
Now, when you
So
say custom made, you mean somebody went to Walmart and bought some Funko Pops that were a pretty basic model and then took them home and painted and carved them, or custom made, you went
no.
to Funko and said, I need 10 of these.
I went to an art studio that they specialize in making these, so they cast their own blanks. And
Okay.
then I tell them exactly what I'm looking for and they make it. So my Funko Pops have discs so that the chest piece that Jude St. Clair is wearing right here, Funko wouldn't make those for me, but these guys will. I can mangle these. So my Big James Bear Funko Pop has the scars that match the canon from the book. So, you know what I mean? Like my Dwayne Fink one has a beer mug and a disc. So, whatever I imagine, this studio can put together for me. They do the boxes as well. So, the box has our names on it. It has a picture of the cover that corresponds with the issue that it's being released on. So, the Callie St. Clair on the back, it'll have the issue 4 main cover. They're numbered. They're beautiful. So they're
The
worth
the
every
disc is
penny.
a heartbeat monitor, isn't it? That's
A heartbeat monitor. Yeah, that's the
basically
disc.
the yellow flash that you're made to wear, like in 1942 Germany,
Yes.
to
Yes.
show.
Well,
uh,
it's a way to tell them apart. So it's actually everyone is forced to wear it. And it's more like it's activated by touch and it will turn green and it has the EKG line that goes through it and it will emit the sound. So it has a speaker on it. And so you get a visual and audio clue whether this person is alive or not. When they're undead and you activate it, it's red, it flatlines, and it alarms, and it won't stop alarming until it gets on a heartbeat. So there's no way
Sounds
to turn
hackable.
it off, right? So
Sounds hackable. All you gotta do is just, like, put a little
and you
metronome
are
thing behind there.
100% correct. It is hackable, and they do it all the time. It's a government issued device. Of course they're gonna
Oh,
hack
well,
it.
never mind. It's designed to be
Exactly.
hackable.
It's gonna misfire, it's gonna cause problems all over, right? So that's part of the thing that the undead use to their advantage is they will hack discs. Oh, hi, kitty. Hi, baby.
This okay, wait,
Let me see. Which
this
one is
this
this
one
one?
is Schrodinger. She's the little Calico.
Hi. Hi, baby girl. He's so cute.
Oh, you're panicking. Okay.
She's like, put me down. I don't want to be up
Like,
here.
there was a I had a reason for going this direction and not bothering you. You picked me up. She's probably going to the litter box. Nope, she wanted to just roll around on her back some.
So I have the Cali St. Clair Funko Pop. There's 2 left out of the 5. We have 3 people that have picked that up. I do have retail tiers. So if you're a LCS and you're looking to carry Path of the Pale Rider, I offer a couple different tiers. One with a full page ad, and any combination of books you want. And this comes with posters and pitch postcards and T-shirts and all that good stuff. This one is just the books, and I can custom make the tier for you. So if you want a certain number of books and you want a cover only, or you want a cover and variants, you tell me and I'll put it together for you. But this is just kind of here just so people can see that I do offer them. Here's the wooden cover. So $100. This is the first time we're doing these. We moved from metal covers from issues 1 through 4 to a wooden cover, which I think matches more of our feel for the next 4 issues. We're going into the
Who
apocalyptic
thought of this?
West. I did.
I mean, this is not something you've seen on any other campaign.
We haven't
Metal
even
cover,
gotten into the cool
everybody and their
stuff I
grandmother
do.
have.
We have of course I have t-shirts, but look, I have a secret reward. I do this every campaign and it's something that I custom make you. I've done bottles of ashes and bones in a custom made wooden box with antique hinges. You get to name your bones. I've 3D printed an actual disc so you can wear it. It lights up, it works. I did what was the other one? I 3D printed little Big James minis and I hand painted them for you. Everyone is unique. I have well, this wasn't so much secret, but for the trade paperback, I have printed and bound books that you custom design. So I let you pick what color and what color the font is and all that good stuff. And the pages, like the edge is painted. You get to pick. So you custom make these things, and I handcraft them. Me, myself, I. So I have a
We
new
need a
secret
plushie of
reward.
Jude's horse.
What's that?
We need a plushie of Jude's horse.
I have a plushie, but it's not.
Done it.
We did a plushie of Big James.
Oh, okay.
For the trade paperback. So I have a Big James plushie, but this was kind of a one-time thing. Carissa Grant is a good friend of mine, and she's always doing plushies, and I try not to step on her toes. And when you know what I mean, this is her thing. So
Okay.
I wasn't going to do them until Carissa was like, if you don't make a plushie of Big James, 1, I will harass you forever, or 2, I'll just go make it myself because I want one. And so I was like, okay. So I made 10 of these. Every single one of them went over on the trade paperback. So they're all gone. But, you know, plushies isn't really my thing. But if I get enough,
they're not all gone. There's one right there.
Right, I know, but it's not really my thing. But if people make a big enough stink, I will cater to what people want. I have ketchup tiers. Of course, you can get all the issues. T-shirts, my t-shirt design. I'll go back to the variant covers so you guys can see, but you can actually get any of our previous t-shirts as well. on this campaign. So when you back the t-shirt level, you can get any of these t-shirts. The new t-shirt is the green one that says "You have died of dysentery" and Big James. So we actually have a sense of humor. We have disc shirts. Here's the green one. We have Jude St. Clair doing sign language. We have this shirt, which is the Big James against the Blood Red. We have a hoodie of that, which is also available in the add-ons. We got lots of cool shirts. This is the graffiti from like the undead riots and stuff. We have real cool shirts. So there's that. That's an option. I also make hot sauce, like from scratch.
Oh.
And so I think it was issue number 2. I premiered the hot sauce. I let people order it from the campaign. So you can get a hot sauce on the campaign. And I have 3 different flavors now. So you can get a single one, or you can get the hot sauce sampler, which is 3 in 1 box. So there's the mango habanero, the ghost pepper barbecue, and then the jalapeno serrano. And they all have cool names. I designed all the labels and stuff. But let me just put this in perspective. The issue number 3, I put the hot sauce on the campaign. I sent out 6 bottles. I brought them back for the trade paperback, just the barbecue sauce. That's my flagship. And people ordered 12 bottles. As of right now, we're on day, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, day 3 of the campaign. I have to make a minimum of 26 bottles of hot sauce.
You're becoming a hot sauce company accidentally.
Love it. Yes. It's just the natural progression of things. People like it. I will continue to offer it. You make enough clamor, I will make it available. So the hot sauce sampler, we have 3 people in there, and then we got a bunch of people, and it's available as an add-on. So if you want a t-shirt and you want to add on a hot sauce, that's where a lot of people are getting their hot sauce. So I have a jigsaw puzzle. It's a 120-piece jigsaw puzzle with, let me go back up to the variants. Here's this. This artist's name is Everett Watkins, and he always, most of the time, he does a variant cover for me. Last issue, number 4, he did the t-shirts because I didn't have a spot for him to do a variant cover because I have people lined up wanting to do covers. So he did this one, and he also turned in this purplish one, and I was like, just send me both because I can't decide. They're both gorgeous. So the blue one ended up as the cover. The purple one ended up as the jigsaw puzzle. So, and if you know me, there's riddles on the back cover of every issue where you can interact with Path of the Pale Rider like it's real. Like we have hidden videos on YouTube. We have phone numbers you can call. If you solve one of them, you get something in the mail from one of the characters. You can interact with it like it's real, right?
A lot of expense.
So my suggestion is if you get this puzzle, when you finish the puzzle, flip it over. There might be something on the back.
Or just do it upside down. Challenge yourself.
Good luck if you're going to do it upside down. Good luck. So, yep. So hot sauce. I have a U pick too. I'm surprised nobody has grabbed this because the regular tier is like it's a physical issue plus the PDF. That's what I consider a regular tier. And all my variants are the same price. They're all $15 for just the regular, the whatever cover you want plus the PDF. I have a you pick too, where for $5 more, you could pick a second cover. But again, I have all the covers available as an add-on as well. So it just depends on how you want to structure your pledge. I make it pretty easy where you can custom make your pledge. What's this? Hey, all, when I'm done here. Cool.
Just reminding everybody at the top of the hour as we finish up, pop over to Mike's stand and catch Mike Walter's show. I will be the guest there Friday. Mike, in case you're wondering, I saw you try to call earlier. Yes, I know. I'm your guest Friday. I will be there. Friday is a special night. Friday. If you've not seen Mike's Friday show, it's the comic book historic retrospective. Those words maybe in a different order.
Gotcha.
But we go back to the golden age and we read comic books out loud with sound effects and voices.
That's cool.
Like radio theater. It's a lot of fun. I love these covers.
Yeah, I was like, let me show off these covers real quick. The original art for Gilbert Perez's cover, the A cover, is available as an add-on. It's pricey, but it's it's a bit of our history. It's an 11 by 17 bristle board with his inks on it. So it's not a print, it's the original. And if you
Yeah.
all don't get it, I will.
Only one person's going to get it.
Right. I'm kind of hoping that nobody gets it, but I also like it'll help with the campaign. So if someone wants a little bit of our history, because we have just recently switched from Marco DeFio doing pencils and inks to Gilbert Perez doing pencils and inks. Marco DeFio has another project that is going to take up of his time. So unfortunately, he wasn't able to commit to issue 5 in the time frame that we were looking for. So that's all. Marco and I are still friends. As you can see, he's done a cover for us, and he will continue to do covers for us and be a part of Path of the Pale Rider. It just won't be as a pencil or an inker. So
that's the part of becoming successful, is you suddenly don't have time to do all the projects you want to do.
Right. And I mean, like, he is always doing like 3 projects at the same time. And then this one came up and I was like, dude, you got to do that one. And he's like, I know. So we were both in agreement about it. It's not like you get that when opportunity knocks, you got to take it, man. And I get it. So I wasn't going to be upset at him for, taking advantage of an opportunity that came and knocking. So I was like, do it.
So here's a question that comes up from looking at her, because I'm looking at her, I'm like, okay, she's one of the undead people. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about a world where you don't die, but you still get hurt. I'm assuming that because of this new paradigm, this new dynamic in the shift of the world, you could not die and still have a near mortal injury that's just like, yeah, it's not getting any better. I'm not dead. Don't just because half my face is missing and my arm is still bleeding. Look, green. I've got a heartbeat.
Yes.
I'm good.
Yes.
I'm in a lot of pain, but I'm
technically alive. The heartbeat is the indicator. If there's a heartbeat, you are considered alive in this world.
We have pacemakers.
What
if somebody with a pacemaker dies?
That's a whole nother
How would you
thing.
know?
Well, it would definitely throw off the heart monitor, and it would be one of those like, are you alive or are you undead? What are you?
What if you didn't even know?
They wouldn't know. How would they?
Because your heart's still pushing blood through the system, keeping the whole circulation going.
Well, I mean, you would still have symptoms, because if you're technically dead, I don't know. This is a weird rabbit hole that we'll have to explore, because if you're technically dead, but your blood is still pumping and putting oxygen into your cells, are you dead? How did you die? Like, do you have a hole through your head, but your blood is still pumping? Wouldn't your blood pump itself out eventually?
If you didn't clog it up.
Yeah.
Sure.
But if your brain is no longer fully functional, you would still be chaotic.
So
lose your
here's
words.
the thing then. If you don't die of a catastrophic way, then the introduction of the loss of actual death in the world is zombieism for the 99% and immortality for the 1.
For the 1. Interesting, isn't it?
Which is probably how the whole damn thing started.
What does that say? In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
Yes. It's like, you're all dead. My heart still beats because I got ever-ready cells going.
Right.
I figured it out. And I don't have to go face judgment now because I'm never going to die.
Well, I don't think anybody's facing judgment if they're stuck.
What do you got down there? Did you? Cats are they're both up now.
Yeah.
They're both up now. and I've been sitting here keeping them off the keyboard with going fishing.
Yeah.
They pulled the feather off the fish.
That's funny.
Just bought it today. They've already destroyed it.
Awesome. Look, here's Gilbert with the art. He's so funny.
It's his baby.
He is so excited to be a part of Path. It was like, and I mean, like, I have people all the time that are like, hey man, if you ever need an artist, you just let me know. But I wanted to make sure I found someone that would A, work with the team, B, could handle the subject matter, and C, wanted to be around for the long haul. I was like, I'm going to ask for a 4-issue contract, but if you want to stay around to 36, kudos to you, I would love for someone to stay. But life happens. You never know.
You've kept a good schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Is it keepable?
I think it's keepable, and we might even be able to go quicker.
Okay.
Than we
So
have been.
issue 36, I'm putting it on my calendar. Where do I turn to for issue 36 to say this is the day I want to make sure I back?
I don't know. That's so
Well,
far in the future. Half the time, Carissa Grant is like, "When's your next Kickstarter launch?" And I'm like, "I don't know." My
when they
whole
do
thing is
it.
for this year, we will get through issue 5 real quick just because Gilbert is so excited, he doesn't wanna stop. So we'll get through issue 5 pretty quick. We should be able to Kickstarter issue number 6. I don't know if we'll be able to fulfill before the end of the year, but probably early 2025, and then I wanna do issue number 7. Issue number 7 should be early 2025, and, that's the one, that I think everything will change. You guys,
Jeez.
when I say you ain't seen nothing yet, number 7 is what I'm talking about. It's radical. I can't
It's not
even
even a fourth of the way
say it.
through everything.
I was talking about it earlier on, Monday Madness with Pops, and I was like, "There's so much that happens in that issue that I can't even allude to." I was like, "I don't even know how I would do a variant cover." Because the variant cover usually has to do with the material that's in the specific issue.
Yeah, well, I can tell you how to do that
Tell me.
because it's if it's going to be that key, the contents are going to be that iconic.
Yeah.
You follow the Beatles lead. It's either solid black or solid white.
I was thinking about that. I have an idea for one cover. I was like, maybe I just release one cover. And Pops was like, "How about you just do a blind cover? Like you have the artist who's attached to that cover, you let them create it, and then people can back the cover unseen based off of
It's a
the
good
artist."
idea.
And I was like, "That's smart." And then, they're able to get it, and then they can read it when they get it.
Yeah,
But
you could get like a really known name artist and like, we're not going to show you the cover,
we're
but
not
you
gonna
know
show you
the
the
artist
cover. You would have to back based off of your favorite artist.
based off the reputation. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's what I think we're gonna do, which is wild. But I want people to know nothing going into 7. When you're done with 6, you'll have an idea of where Jude is going, but I don't want you to have any clue what he's getting himself into when he gets there. So,
All right. What you've got? Are these tarot cards?
these are poker cards. We're in the
Poker
West.
cards.
We're in a saloon and we play poker. So, this is a backer goal, backer stretch goal. So every 50 backers, we unlock a poker card. Um, so we've unlocked 5 so far. This is our first time going into spades. We unlocked the first one at 50 backers because we're at 66. So we're on the way to unlocking the second one.
Oh,
So
the
every
cards
50
are going to
backers.
flip over. Ha ha. I
Yeah.
get it.
So that's the back. And so we flipped this one. So I'll flip them as we go. We have dollar stretch goals. You get to see all of those. I got keychains. I have
It's
these
like a
voice
stretch goal
clips.
game of Texas Hold'em.
Mhm. It sure is. We have the slice and dice where you get to if you're a backer, you get to vote on, naming a fruit or vegetable like a watermelon or a pumpkin, and you also get to vote on a weapon of destruction, and then I destroy this thing on a live stream. It's hilarious, and we all have fun, and you get to vote on your and I take write-ins, so I've had some crazy ass write-ins, like, a stoplight. Someone wants me to get a stoplight and smash it with that. I've had
Oh,
lots of
you're
suggestions for, M80s to blow shit up, but
young lady, you are way too young to remember this, but back when David Letterman was young, sane, and had brown hair,
yeah.
um, he did segments. I'm talking like the first 2 years of his show, um, where he just took items and said, and it was called "Will It Bounce?" And
Mhm.
they went to the top of the building and
And
they
just
dropped it
threw it.
off.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
Will it bounce?
I'm channeling my inner Gallagher is how I feel. But
Yes.
I will also use, like, short swords. I have a two-handed axe. I have this modified sledgehammer. I got a whole plethora of, knives because I do martial arts, so I have weapons, right? So, yeah, we did a soup can and a sock. Like, we do fun stuff. It's fun just to see things go smash, you know what I mean?
It
So,
is.
I mean,
It is.
we just got tons of stuff. Here's the riddles. So if you're interested in doing the extras, these are always free. There is no stretch goal to unlock the riddles and the short films. They always
All
come
those
along
QR codes.
for free. So those are the 4 from issues 1 through 4. We also have fan interactive short films where you yourself could be in these and see yourself on the screen. These are usually things that we don't have time to dive into in the comic. Like, what would happen if you died? How would your family deal with that? That's what we did in the Day in the Life. Call to action, conspiracy theory. This one was a lot of fun. I dressed up as a reporter and interviewed people about what they think broke death, and they could say whatever they wanted. So there's a ton of fans in that one. This is my husband, who's such a good sport. And then Pine Fox is the commercial for the undead retirement community. So these are a ton of fun. Here's a slice and dice. Here's the bloopers from Ellie Brock. You'll have to watch some of these things. So in my fandom, there's this undead reporter. So at the end of this conspiracy theory video, Ellie Brock is the news reporter, the investigative reporter, and she gets run over by a car. So you can see me get run over by a car. And then I brought her back when I did the welcome video for issue number, I want to say 3 or 4. She was there with me. I green screened it, and so there was me and Ellie interacting with you, telling you about the next campaign. Well, I brought her back for this one. So if you go watch this up here all the way at the top, we have a certain weird humor. We talk about chicken nuggets a lot, and she screams consequences at everybody. That's kind of her thing. So if you watch this video, that's with me and Ellie Brock, and the blooper video is what's attached down there. So we have fun.
If you die young, you quit aging, don't you?
What's that?
You quit aging when you die, don't you?
Yeah, but you're decomposing.
Okay. I was thinking it would suck if you were.
It would suck if you were a child.
That too.
Because if you're 8 and you die, you're continually 8, and then you decompose from there.
Yeah, but if you're 56 and you die, you can never retire.
Oh, they retire you, just not where you want to go.
You're going to the farm.
Well, that's what the undead retirement community is. Do you think it's one thing? I promise you, it's not.
Yeah, it's like Animal Farm.
Good time. It's a good time. Yeah. I hope everybody comes and checks it out. Find something that you like, whether it's hot sauce or comics or secret rewards, Funko Pops. We got it all.
Yes, 66 backers.
Yeah,
we did not grow. I wish we could have grown. I would have loved to have played.
I think the people that checked in on the chat were all people that have already backed.
We had plenty of people watching. So wow, this is the most unique concept book I've heard of, and you're doing the trade paperbacks. And I'm guessing every 4 is going to be trade paperback. Yes. Maybe 12 will be like one great big one.
Yes. Yep. That is the plan.
Very cool. All right. Laurie, is there anything more about this book that people need to know before we sign off for the evening here?
No, I think we covered everything. Just remember that in the apocalypse, swords don't run out of bullets.
No, don't do that. All right.
You're like, I'm going to think about that.
I think about that one hard. All right. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing this with us tonight. I do appreciate it.
Thank you for that beautiful song. Oh, man.
I'll hang on after the show. I will get you that song.
Okay. Thank you.
Everybody in the chat, thank you guys for being here tonight. We don't have a show without you. So we're just a podcast falling in the woods otherwise. So we're glad that you were here. And as always, while you were here, we just hope you had a blast. Click the link below. Back Path of the Pale Rider.